Today's video is all about the do's and don'ts of mascara. And we obviously have our brand new MyMascara to the line, our first ever mascara, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to do this video today to talk you through the do's and don'ts along the way and hopefully some practical tips for you and your mascara applying. Okay, so first up, I'm going to unroll my mascara, and this is like a very, very soft curved wand. The best thing about this is it's going to lift your lashes, but it's going to add volume because you've got loads of little spikes quite close together, and it's a weighty formula. So I personally love when you apply mascara and you know it instantly has impact. So I'm going to take a small mirror to look down also. Taking the curved wand, or regardless of whatever mascara you're using, always start from the root of the lash all the way up. So rather than just going to the very, very tip, you're going from the root, you're zigzagging your way up, you're coating every single lash. And I personally tend to blink down onto it to make sure I'm getting that full depth of it. And then if you want to, you can coat your tips if you're quite fair like me. But make sure you literally wriggle around to every eyelash on it. Now, if you're going to do two coats, you need to let the first one set for a second. Because if I go straight back in and try and pack on that, it's going to end up clumping it because the formula is too wet and we haven't given it a second to dry. So number one, zigzag right from the root to the very tip of the lash. And number two, what you want to do is wait if you want to do a second coat. I totally get that there's lots to be said for a second coat. Don't forget about your bottom lashes. They are really important to make sure the eyes stay open and wide, but we do know that a lot of people complain about fallout or maybe you get panda eyes. So here are some tips. So I'm going to pop the tip of the wand, just coating over the ends because we don't need the full wand to take care of them because the under eye lash space is quite small. But what you do want to do is take your ring finger and gently just run it over the very ends. So see all that little excess? That potentially could fall throughout the day and cause fallout, and that's what irritates us or creates panda eyes, so we don't want to do that. Speaking of the under eye, what we also do want to do is think about it. So if you are wearing under eye concealer, or maybe you have a naturally oily under eye, that can also draw your mascara down and create a panda eye. So with my under eye concealer on, I'm going to take a little bit of powder. This is our Velvet Veil, and I'm going to set underneath, which will help to not have an oily eye. It also completely blurs and smooths it. Look at the difference there. So it gives it a lovely prepped eye, but it means that your mascara won't fall or drop because your under eye isn't oily or creasy or greasy. Another thing you do want to do, like I've done, do your eye makeup first. So sometimes if you do your mascara first and then your eye makeup, the shadow can fall onto it. It means you have to go back in and do an extra layer of mascara and it may not be needed. So eye makeup on first if you can, like I have. I just have our full face edit bronzer, powder highlight, and a little bit of brown shade at the side of the eye. Very, very simple. Okay, so now I've got both eyes on, so you can see my eyes look lovely, bright and awake. If you're applying your mascara, maybe you're in a rush, or maybe you've got really long lashes and you get a little bit of mascara on the eyelid. Don't go straight in with a tissue to try and rub it when it's wet. Let's leave it settle, and then I'm going to scrape it off with the spoolie of my angle brush in a minute when it's dry. Another thing we don't want to do is when you're getting to the end of your mascara life, don't be forcing it back in the bottle to get all the product out. The more you do this, the more you reinforce air and the more you're going to dry it out that bit quicker. One sweep should be well enough, particularly if it's a good pigmented formula like ours is. And lastly, the thing you definitely want to do is pay attention to your mascara expiry date. Typically when you're using a mascara, it'll have like a little symbol on the pack. It usually looks like an opening tin and it might say 6M or 12M, for example, which means 6 months or 12 months. So after you open it, that's when the countdown is on, and you need to recycle to make sure that you're not putting anything dangerous on your eyes or damaging, and that you're getting the most out of your mascara, basically. Not that it's ever really going to be dangerous, but you know what I mean. So when I'm trying to get this off, I'm going to get my spoolie, I'm going to scrape into it, and it's gone. And I've not interrupted my eyeshadow. I don't have a big wet patch from putting cleanser on it. Just scrape it off once it's dry and the mascara will lift easily for you. So there we go. That is our do's and don'ts using our first ever mascara. This is MyMascara. Mascara is so personable. We wanted to create something that we know was universal, going to be loved by lots. We have trialed it on every single lash style possible. So if you do get it, I hope you love it. And if you're just using your own general mascara, I hope that you found these tips helpful.